Stutter, my brother, what's happening?
Hey, fantasy, it's session. We talking touchdowns, receptions, interceptions. They got a band and kicker, we need that correction. Swap them out, we flexing. How many of y'all you collect? We tryna get that winning record. Fantasy, it's session.
Yo,
What up, though?
And we back.
what it is? Hope it's what it should. See, he always fuck it up. He been doing this in week 6 and week 5 shit, and then now he just didn't do it at all, or he just didn't repeat it. Anyway, what it is? Hope it's what it should be. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy in Session, the podcast. Today is October the 20th. It's week 7. That's crazy as the fuck.
Wild, bro.
We're halfway through the season. So you know what I'm saying? It's about that time. You already know. You pretty much know in your head like where your team stands right now. But wherever you listen to this at, make sure you subscribe, like the channel, go over to YouTube, and we're trying to get it up to 200 followers. You know what I'm saying? Got a giveaway coming.
200.
What y'all got going on?
You know, same old, bro. Just getting ready for the week ahead of us, man. Coming off a pretty good week. I think I was like 500, 7-7 across all of my leagues. So not great, but not bad. So I'll take it. Just getting ready for the week. What are we in? Week 7 now?
Week 7. How you living, Javar?
Man, I'm living good over here. I don't want to get, glow too much, but fantasy God been blessing me. The team been rather healthy. So man, a lot of my teams are good and in the front end of making the playoffs right now. So, it's a good year for me so far. So I'm hoping the rest of 4 more weeks I can just get some help and be in there.
Weeks.
Yeah, 4 more weeks. If I win 3 out of 4 of those games, I'm basically
So
in the
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 8 more weeks.
So how many wins do you
season.
say now? What if you won 8
I think
games, you basically in?
8. Yeah. 8 is
is
probably
there.
a lot. Yeah,
Right.
8 is probably a lot.
So
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But
Um,
yeah, bro. I remember in redraft, you thought your team was kind of sorry too in redraft, bro.
Right,
You 4-2 and shit.
right.
Gabe
Coming around.
thought his team was good in that league too, and he's 2.
we coming back. We coming back.
Hey,
we coming,
hey,
we
hey,
coming
look,
back.
it
we
feels
coming
good when you be like,
Yeah.
oh snap! When you
Still
know how
high
you forget.
scored.
You know how you forget you looking at your team like, oh, my team look decent. Then you go to the
Yeah.
bottom and IR, you like, oh, Calvin Ridley down there. I forgot I got
Oh
Calvin
shit!
Ridley on this
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So I did that without Calvin.
Derrick Henry been coming through for your boy Gabe lately. Finally,
For sure.
that dude's
Hey.
a freaking man child, bro. Jesus.
Hey, when
Christ.
him, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert all go off at the same week, it's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got to put Case Keenum in this week. You know what I'm saying? I got hit by the apocalypse. Of course, it's week 7. I don't know. Shout out to everybody out there that got hit by the apocalypse. What kind of ugly starts you got going? What's your ugliest start this week?
Imagine being in a super flex league and having Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott out. Like it's gross, bro.
Man.
I picked up Case Keenum in that league too, so I got to at least I have one quarterback there. But it's gonna be another week of playing a skill player in a super flex, which is always kind of gross.
Last week in the tournament session takeover, I don't have another quarterback. James was out, so I ended up starting Khalil Herbert. He put up quarterback type number, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And this week in the league, I don't have Josh Allen or the rookie out there in Jacksonville.
Trevor
So now I got to start Goff and Geno Smith. I might start a position player with Geno though.
Yeah, it was kind of rough out there.
He look kind of ass. Shout out to the session takeover. You know what I'm saying? I'm still number 1 by 1 point. Shout out to me.
Nice,
the
nice.
The playoffs do start earlier than regular season playoffs. I think it starts week 12, if I'm not mistaken. That's the last week. So of course it's the top 2 teams in every league. So whatever league you in, if you are the top 2, like in the division or whatever you want to call it, you automatically get to the playoffs. The top 2 teams. And so let's say it's a north and a south. So it's 4 teams on the north, 4 teams on the south. We'll put it out on the website for y'all. The top 2 teams out of both sides get automatic buys. And then we got for the rest is points for. So the next what is it? I want to say 8. Yeah, 8 points for on each side. So the North and the South get in. So if you're automatically in with your record, then it skips over you and it goes to the next person point scored. So it's 32 people in the playoffs total, and then it goes down from there.
Gotcha. So we didn't adjust it from last year because remember last year when they had like 64 people, I want to say that was in it.
Adjusted. Yeah, it's adjusted.
So it's still the same amount of people in the playoffs.
No, it was like 20 because it was 6 on each side, so 6 plus it was 24 on last year.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's
I mean,
cool.
we could pop it up.
Nah, I mean it is what it is.
Hey, let's go! I'm in that thing, man.
Do work, son.
I'm in that thing, man.
36 out of 96 teams, so that's a third of the team. I think that's good. I think a third of the teams is good.
Hey, I'm in that thing, but hey, it's funny. Last year, none of us in that thing but Tonio. Now this year,
I made the playoffs. I just ain't made the damn.
Oh, my bad.
I think I made the playoffs, got past the first round, and then I lost after that.
If you are and if you haven't been a part of the session takeover, make sure you be on the lookout for the next session takeover 4 promise to be. Is it 4? No, 3 promise to be bigger and better, man. We already in light years ahead, man. 2020 vision. I see it straight through y'all. Speaking of the session takeover, let's give a special moment of silence, 8-second moment of silence out to all the black queens out there that's lost their lives. And we back. All right, man. Here we go. Week 7, man. What the people been here for. It's been a lot of crazy shit out there. Just before we get started, bro, how do y'all feel about the Deshaun Watson possibly getting traded to Cool News?
That shit is wild. Well, I heard, like, of course, I heard the Deshaun Watson news, but then I also heard something else saying that it's possible that it's a 3-team trade and that Tua will go to Washington. So that is really interesting. I guess Houston is just like, nah, you know what? We don't even need no quarterback. Just give us all these picks and we'll just start the actual rebuild. So that'll be, I mean, I can see that working, bro. So I don't know how it will play out with Watson. Like, would he try to pull some funny shit and say like, oh, he's about to play now, let's put him on the exempt list, or you know, do a little 6-game suspension like they did Zeke back when he was going through them legal issues and stuff. So still got to wait and see. But if you have him, Deshaun Watson, the dynasty, I feel like this is, you know, any news is, you know, good news right now, just because, you know, like, you want to know what's going on with your player. So
I also saw somebody say that Tua could possibly get his job taken by Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2 different places.
Again, yo, that would be the funniest shit ever, bro. That would be insane, bro, if that happens. Yeah.
I don't think that's coming. He looked
man, please.
What do you mean? He played like a quarter. We don't know how Fitzpatrick looking.
I'm talking about Tua. He looked out.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he did. He was throwing the ball, but he did lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Though.
That was insane. Jacksonville and London is a different team, though, bro. Like, they play differently in London. I don't know what.
That's their home team. That's their home crowd.
Trevor Lawrence been a different. I got him in Dynasty. So Trevor Lawrence been a different type quarterback the last 3 games as well. So he's been coming around and not throwing the ball over as much. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So y'all ready to get into it? Y'all got anything else?
Y'all ready for this?
Well, this is the big Bipocalypse week. So just for everybody that doesn't know, if you've been living under a rock, the Bills, Cowboys, Jaguars, Vikings, Steelers, and Chargers will not be playing this week. They're on bye. So don't start those guys.
Don't start those guys if you're thinking about it.
So
if analysis.
So for sure. So if you do have gross lineups, it is okay.
You're not alone.
It's been like this in years past where it's been a lot of buys, bro. But I can't remember it being like this to where it was like Bills, Cowboys, Vikings, Steelers, Chargers all have multiple fantasy relevant players, bro. So let's go ahead and start because Gabe's singing over me while I was talking.
I was giving you background music, bro.
What shirt you got on?
Bro, I just saw your shirt, bro. What the fuck, bro? Yo, Gabe. Bro, you is a Bro, you a fool, bro.
What happened?
Shirt of the year, bro. Shirt of the year, bro.
Oh, y'all just not seeing it? I was wondering what
I
y'all gonna say
just
something.
noticed the shirt, bro. What the fuck, bro? Oh, hell no, bro. Hey, where you get that from?
Official gift site.
You're stupid, bro. Just
All
like
right,
Gage
bro.
here is a fool.
Hey man, let's get into what we here for, man. Oh man, that's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious, bro.
Oh, to
Wow.
Week 7 NFL Thursday night football. Denver at the 3.5-point favorite. Cleveland Browns over under 42.5 points. We got Teddy Bridgewater. A little news came out that he might be suffering from an ankle injury. I want to say it was.
I just like calf or it's ankle. Okay.
Something one of his legs, one of them things.
Yeah.
After a couple bad weeks, I mean, he's been playing QB1 play. Over the last 2 weeks, QB 10 with 20-plus point games. Of course, the garbage time last week helped him out. This week, he does get the top 5 graded Browns defense, but of course, with no Baker Mayfield, no Nick Chubb, no Kareem, nobody. Possibly no OBJ. Like he could have to throw the ball a lot, you know what I mean? Because they're going to try to slow the clock down. All Teddy QB1 weeks, he's thrown at least 30 times. That would be key in this game. The Browns are stingy on the ground, so he will be forced to put the ball in the air. So I'm thinking you can go ahead and roll him out there, you know what I mean? Especially in this apocalypse week. I don't usually like starting Thursday night quarterbacks, but you know what I'm saying? We got to do what we got to do.
It's all right, Gage. I got a lot of my texts. I'm like, man, he's a sit, but it's so ugly right now. So you're going to be starting. So I feel
You got to. What else you going to do? Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. Still a 55-45 split with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon hasn't seen more than 10 carries, not in the last 3 weeks, and he isn't producing in the passing game, averaging only 3 targets a game. Like I mentioned, the Browns are stingy on the ground, the third fewest fantasy points given up to the running back position. So I don't like either of them. I know we've been waiting on Javonte Williams to break out, but his role hasn't expanded since the beginning of the year. He's actually seeing less snaps and only 3 targets a game, so he's not a good start for me this week. Cortland Sutton, bona fide number 1. You go ahead and roll him out there. The Browns are allowing the 5th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position.
I just said, okay.
Your boy Tim Patrick finally saw the end zone last week after those week 1 and week 2 end zone weeks. Still only seeing around 6 targets a game. He caught 3 of them last week, 42 yards. I don't know.
5 out of 6 games, he scored double-digit points. So if you just need that stability in your lineup, bro, can't go wrong with.
Yeah,
His
I like
name sucks. Hold your nose and put him in your lineup, bro. If you need a guaranteed 11 points, bro, because that's pretty much what he's like.
It's that Thursday night scare factor for me, bro. That's why I don't like that. I don't like that Thursday night.
So would you start Tim Patrick or Marvin Jones?
I might start Marvin Jones.
I might start.
Because he's on bye. You ain't got no other options, motherfucker. So start Tim Patrick if you need some stability, bro.
Yeah, I like Tim Patrick as a wide receiver 3. I like Tim Patrick.
He's like literally the picture perfect wide receiver 3.
Right now, till Judy come back, he's good to be starting almost every week.
Noah Fant tied for 3rd on the in targets, 2 double-digit target weeks in the last 3 weeks. Has had his biggest week last week, 9 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdowns. The Browns are allowing the 10th fewest fantasy points to the tight end position, but volume is key, so we already know that.
Yep.
On to the other side of the field, we got Baker Mayfield, who is going to be out. I don't know how y'all feel about Case Keenum, but he's in my lineup, so shout out to me.
Good luck.
Playing Super Flex League to anybody listening.
For sure. Yeah. This is what I really wanted to get to, though. Demetric Felton and Dearness Johnson. I knew I was gonna fuck that up. Without Chubb and Hunt playing, they expected to get most of the roles. Demetric is a rookie. He's predominantly using the passing role. Dearness, we've seen him step up in the position where he had to play a lot of snaps last year. He disappointed in 3 weeks. He had 1 good week and then 2 bad weeks. And if y'all remember, he had a negative point outing. Denver is allowing the 6th fewest fantasy points a game to the running back position. I would steer clear of this, especially on the Thursday night matchup. I know a lot of people went out and spent a lot of fab on him. I heard Javar and Dweez talking about him on the episode, and I put, man, don't do it. I wouldn't do it. We've seen him disappoint, and the Denver Broncos just aren't a good rushing defense to run on anyway.
That was just at the time. Baker, I still thought Baker could be there, build a little movement, but yes, you're in a pinch, man. Yeah.
But what's his floor though, bro? If he's going to be getting all the touches out there, I feel like his floor can't be no lower.
He's not going to get. He's not going to get all the touches though. But I don't think
who's going to get more? Who's going to get touches?
He's going to get majority.
He's going to get
like
majority
1 or 2
though.
carries.
He's going to get
this year, bro. He's a receiver, bro. He's playing like no snaps out of the backfield, bro. Like he is going to be used more this game, but I think Dearness Johnson is going to get the bulk of these carries, bro. And
I just said we've seen this
over under, but the volume is. I think he's going to get it.
I'm just
we've seen this floor in a role where who was out last year? Nick Chubb. So playing the Nick Chubb role, we've seen his floor be negative. But
we also saw Alexander Madison have the whole backfield one time, and he stunk it up. But then
But he did it twice.
That's not going to stop me from playing. I know he did, but you got to think everybody's on bye this week, and you have a starting running back that you're capable of playing.
I'm only worried about.
I can't suggest nobody sit them if they.
Right, I'm only worried about options. I don't mind as a flex play, but I wouldn't go too high. I'm only worried about game script. That it may get ugly. He may not get a lot of opportunities to rush the ball. That's something I'm worried about, but yeah.
It's a 1.5 point. They did move the line to. It's a 1.5 point Cleveland Brown favorite. So
how many was the over under? Still 42?
41, yeah. So it's gonna be like that grinding out, slow game. Like it ain't gonna be no high flying passing and shit. But I mean, I like the volume that I think he's gonna see. So I think I'm not excited about starting him, but I like the volume.
One my last point that we can get off this. If the Denver Broncos are a great defense, which they are, and they know that the Browns don't have Baker one, so there's no really, threat of the ball being thrown. It wasn't already one with Baker in the backfield already, just to keep it 100. But no OBJ play because he's questionable, and it's just fucking Case Keenum and Donovan Jones. They're going to stack the box, and they're going to make Case Keenum beat him. That's what
I don't think that'll be a huge problem for Keenum. He's a vet. He's been in this league.
No, not Keenum. Not Keenum. Yeah, I'm more so speaking for the running backs. I'm talking about it's gonna be a bad pass.
I think if they're forcing the pass, I think Keenum will make them pay for that shit. He's not no superstar, but he's competent enough to make you pay if you want to stack the box against Dearness Johnson, my guy.
And then Cleveland has a good defense as well. And Broncos' offense is not the best, so it could be a game, and they hang in there.
I'm not expecting them to just light the world on fire tomorrow, bro. But I don't think he's gonna sink it just off the volume that he's gonna get.
All right, so we got a question right here from shout out to Joffrey Players. Make sure you like and subscribe, Playboy. Should I start Dearness, Johnson, or McKissick?
This hard right here, bro.
That's a good one.
I'm leaning. I just like McKissick's ceiling is much higher if Gibson miss any time, and it's been the third week in a row Gibson has went on the sideline for some time because of the shin, and now it's really bothering him.
And McKissick is their goal line running back too, and I think they're gonna have more scoring opportunities.
Right. You just if listening tomorrow, if my boy Antonio Gibson not practicing tomorrow, then I'll probably hang McKissick in there because it's a possibility he don't get much playing time. But yeah, you gotta make a decision by Thursday. That's
Los, what you say? Never on Thursday.
Dearness.
No. He's supposed to say never on Thursday.
I mean, I'm not in doubt though, bro. He's gonna get the volume, bro. There's nobody else back there that's gonna take touches away from him like that.
So, AJ Brown and Sheppard.
Sheppard, Sutton. Sheppard, Sutton. If Julio is out. AJ.
Tampa playing the Bears. Yeah. Oh, no, that's AJ Brown, not AJ.
You got to sit one.
Sit Godwin. I would sit Godwin.
Yeah, I think I want Sutton in there,
bro.
No,
I would sit Sheppard.
Kadarius Toney out.
It is Tony. They gonna throw him the ball. He's getting like, yeah, I like.
Yeah, you're right. I think he should get more volume, but
Safe.
I don't think I can start. I don't think I can.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Godwin,
I would start him over AJ Brown. That's what I would say.
One second. I just got to see how many targets AJ Brown got last week, and I'll tell you if I'm starting.
9.
I'm starting AJ Brown over Godwin. For me, I'm sitting Godwin.
ETH Ball 11. Make sure you like and subscribe, homie. I'm getting Ridley giving up AB full PPR. Would you take that? I'm getting Ridley
Brown. Yes, I would.
Yeah, I would take that.
I know it feels ugly right now, but yeah. Antonio can't sustain it every game. He's not gonna be the number one target.
I don't know.
He getting double digits every game. It's hard, and it's from Brady, bro. That's
he's looking like the number one wide receiver out there. I don't know what you mean.
Like, it's crazy that he's out there playing half the snaps of Godwin and Evans. Like, he's literally the third receiver on that team. But when he's out there, it's the same as last year. He's targeting him. He's giving him targets. Like, he's leading in targets per route run, but it's just he's running half the routes of Evans. So it's just he can't be that consistent. He'll be an outlier if he stays that consistent all year. If he continues to run half the snaps as half the routes as the other two receivers. So for that, I would go Ridley.
No Browns tight ends. Of course, we talked about Njoku being in the trap week after that big monster week. He came out and had like 2 targets. So let's just sit everybody else. On to the next game. We got Cincinnati at the Baltimore Ravens. What you looking like? I think Lamar Jackson is going to have another MVP year. That's what I think is predicting. That's my bold prediction. He is a monster. And he's
for them to have all them injuries that they've had, bro, and the defense is not playing that good, bro. Like, he literally is putting the team on his back, bro. Like,
the one didn't get injured. Here you talking about?
Yeah, who got injured?
I'm saying we all know that the Ravens want to run the ball, bro. They're coming back in games, bro. Like,
hey, look, they got 3 running backs. Put the fantasy in session plus Dewey's in the backfield plus Tonio, at fullback or something crazy, and Lamar Jackson, bro. We in there.
There'd be one less back, bro, because that first hit, bro, I'd be dead, bro. Ain't no way, boy. These motherfuckers, hell nah, bro. Imagine, bro, hell nah. Don't put me back.
Oh, my God, man. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, how you feel about Baltimore 6-point favorites? What's the over-under? 47-point over-under against Cincinnati Bengals. This should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, man. Like you said, you start Lamar Jackson, number 6 quarterback, start him every week. Between Murray, Bell, Freeman, and Williams, with all these guys on the active roster, I would sit everyone if I can. When Murray went out, Freeman, Bell split most of the carries. Even with Murray is healthy, these guys could all split touches. If you're in a tough spot, I understand starting Murray or Freeman in the flex, but
Murray not playing this week, I don't think.
Oh, well, if you're in a pinch, I will start Freeman up as he's Freeman. Well, they brought up Bell, so I don't know how Ty Williams and Freeman going to work out. I mean, Ty Williams and Bell going to work out, but I feel I will just stay away. But when the pinch, it's a lot of buys and some people are hurt. So I wouldn't mind starting Freeman in the flex. Both was getting both of the carries and the goal line touches. Both would be TD dependent. Against the Ravens, allowing 15th most points to running backs in PPR leagues. So in Freeman in the flex, if Murray is out, I want to say talent-wise, you should be starting Ty Williams over Bell, but who knows what they do. Bell might get more touches than Ty Williams, but I'll just stay away from those two for now.
Yeah, I think Freeman is the guy you will want to start if you wanted to play somebody from his backfield, but I'm not excited at all about it. So say that what you will.
We got Marquis Brown. Marquis Brown is having a breakout season, and he's a start each week. He had 5 TDs through 6 games. Watkins is battling a hamstring injury, and if he plays, he worked the flex in the start. With all these buys, he'll give you at least around 8 points. He has seen 7 targets for at least 40 yards per game this year. Bateman is a wait and see, but it's good. To see that he played 65% of the snaps his first week playing and caught 4 of his 6 passes, but for only 29 yards. So that's encouraging to see. He's been targeted when on the field. Let's see how it goes from here on out. And, of course, you start Mark Andrews after a horrible – I'm going to say a horrible year last year, about the down year last year. Mark Andrews is starting to show up and show why.
He was looking pretty gross this year for him, too.
Yeah, then Lamar just turned up on him, folk. Flipping around, you got Joe Burrow, who has thrown at least 2 TDs for 270 yards in the last 3 games. But this week he faced a Ravens defense that's allowing teams to only score around 20 points per game. The Ravens have had teams to 7 points or fewer in the last 3 games. In 2 quarterback leagues, he's good to go. But temper expectation is 1 quarterback leagues. You could find a better matchup, and he's more like a French starter. Joe Mixon, when healthy, he has seen at least 18 touches this year. With P. Ryan out last week, he's seen a season-high 6 targets and caught 5 of those for 59 yards and a TD. P. Ryan could be out, and the Ravens are giving up the 13 most points to running backs. Mixon is a back-end running back 1 this week. Start him. On to the wide receivers. Jamar Chase is a stud, and Burrow loves throwing to him. His floor has been 13 points in PPR leagues all year. He's a start against a tough defense. Better days are coming for Higgins, but probably not this week. The Ravens are allowing the 29th most points to wide receivers in PPR league. Higgins is a French start back in wide receiver 3. He has
29th most points?
29th most, so 29th least
so
or whatever.
4th fewest.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but he tried to say that shit like he was right and I was wrong.
I said the 29th most.
I mean, that is right. You could say that. It's just,
all right, it's 32.
You said allowing. They're allowing the 29th most.
Yeah, so that's
if you're allowing the 29th most points, that means you're allowing out of how many ever people? If it's 32 teams, you're allowing the 4th most points.
No, you're allowing the 4th fewest points or the 29th most points.
Bro, let me talk how I want to talk.
What are you saying?
Good.
Too much Trump in your life, bro.
Right.
Scrambling your brain.
Get yourself together, my boy. Get yourself together. All right, Boyd is going through a rough time right now. He has seen 8 targets in the last 2 games and catching 5 of them for only 31 yards. Boyd is a sit special this week, and until further notice. CJ Uzma is 10 TD dependent and should stay on your bench. 5 targets in the last 2 games for a total of 31 yards. That's what I got for those games. You got something?
Nope.
I just want to add that Mixon was very, very involved in the passing game again. So we need to see it happen more than 1 game. Like he was targeted like 5 times in week 1, and then he went on a slump where he was only seeing like 2 at the most. And then last week he saw 6 targets. So just something to monitor going forward, because if that usage continues, that might be a buying opportunity. Maybe the Mixon owners still sleep, at the wheel. They don't realize that they might have a legit top like 8 running back at that, usage of the passing game.
Wait, man. I need that Mixon
Trade Chris Godwin, Le'Veon Bell, and Nick Chubb for Alvin Kamara, Devin Felton, and Terry McLaurin. This is pretty gross.
Yeah, I think I would do that.
I like the other
for
side.
The fact that, Terry McLaurin and Godwin's almost a wash. I think I would prefer McLaurin, of course. Alvin Kamara is playing right now. Nick Chubb is injured, so if you need a win this week, definitely. And then
Alvin Kamara, and especially if you're in the PPR league, I want Alvin Kamara over Nick Chubb.
And on top of that, Alvin Kamara has already went through his bye, so he's going to be playing all year versus everybody else on this list.
And if anytime I can get Le'Veon Bell off my team for free, I'm always trying to do that.
Good point. Do it.
It looks good to me, though. Real talk. Appreciate you.
Shout out to TS. I don't know if you already been here before. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. We're on the way to 200. Do you think Goddard is playing Sunday? Yes. Is Felton worth a pickup since I lost Hunt? Of course, all running backs is a pickup. I think so. But as far as if you want to start him this week, we just had a whole argument about it. It just depends on who else is on your team.
Now, we was arguing about Dearness. Felton is the receiver slash running back. I don't know if
I don't like both.
It depends on your other option. It depends on your other options, man. Like, you might be forced to start them, but Yeah, I will definitely want to start Johnson over Felton, but it just depends on your other options with Felton.
I mean, if he's the passing back, he may have a role in to pick up Hunt roles. So I can see it, but it's according to who you dropping. Don't be dropping no big name person for him. But yeah.
I would drop the bottom of my bench for him. Washington football team at the 9.5 point favorite. Green Bay Packers with a 48.5 point favorite. Tua could be the quarterback.
Not this week.
But how you feel about Aaron Rodgers going up against that defense?
So Aaron Rodgers, of course, you're starting him, and honestly, bro, this is literally the most narrow team for start sits. You're starting Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Javonte Adams. It did seem like AJ Dillon was picking up some steam. He was being worked in more, but it's still not enough for me to want to start him. So I would just stash him, and he's probably one of the most valuable handcuffs. And that's a theme this year. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but it seems like a lot of running backs are going down. They're not to season-ending injuries, but they've been picked up to where they're missing games. So you want to have these handcuff running backs, bro. So.
This is background music.
So turn the background music off. But yeah, that's it for the Green Bay game or Green Bay side. On the Washington side, my starts, J.D. Mckissick. I do like him as a flex this week, even if Gibson plays. He's coming off a 10-target game and caught 8 of them for 65 yards. So now he's posted 2 top 15 weeks and a top 7 weeks and a top 7 week in his 6th game. 8th among running backs in targets, 50 yards per receptions among all running backs with at least 10 targets. And with them coming in as heavy underdogs, I think he should be busy this Sunday. So if Gibson can't, and of course, if Gibson can't go, Mckissick should get a slight bump in his rushes between the tackles, along with Jared Patterson. So, and also Jared Patterson needs to be stashed on your team because it's not looking like Gibson's going to play. He missed practice today, so just got to pay attention to that. So I think it'll be a mix between those two.
And you still want homeboy over Mckissick? Did you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It ain't a sure thing, but I just like them. I'm always going to go with volume over that.
But
over,
like you just
running back.
I forgot the tight end out, but the new tight Seal Jones.
Seal Jr. been okay though.
He's been getting targeted anyway, but also Curtis Samuels is out, so Mckissick been playing.
Yeah, he's gonna be involved. He's definitely gonna be involved. Yeah.
Ass cheeks.
Yeah, bro. He just can't stay on the field, bro. Another start is transition to tight ends. Ricky Seals-Jones, 15 targets, 9 catches for 99 yards and a touchdowns in a 2-week since he's taken over for Logan Thomas. Finished 14th and 6th in those weeks. He's tied for second with Mckissick and behind Terry McLaurin in targets over those weeks. And the matchup isn't great with Green Bay allowing the 13th fewest points, but I mean, he's getting the volume, and it's not too many other options at tight end. So if you picked him up, I think he's probably your best tight end. So I'm comfortable with him due to the volume he's going to see. As for sits, Taylor Heineke, I'm going to go ahead and sit him this week. Ran hot for a good stretch, finishing 13th, 9th, and 5th in weeks 2 to 4. But has cooled off during the last 2 weeks where he's finished 25th in each week. Last week set up perfectly, too, for him. We knew that he would need to throw to keep up with the Chiefs. They were allowing the second most points to quarterbacks, and he threw a lot, but he only came away with 182 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And he didn't attempt the rush, and that was, something that we wanted from Heineke because we knew he wasn't just like a great quarterback, but he was providing that rushing floor. So if he's going to perform like this and not rush the ball, I don't like it. And then you add to the fact that Green Bay is allowing the 5th fewest points to opposing quarterbacks. So he showed us what his floor was and tough defense. I'm going to sit him even in Superflex if I can.
Shit's terrible.
It's terrible. And then last French player I got, if he is active, Antonio Gibson. Tempering expectations if he does go, just due to the potential game script of the matchup this week. They're 9.5 point underdogs, and we've seen him get scripted out of a game multiple times this year. He's not used in the passing game, averaging just under 3 targets a game, which is 29th among running backs. So Green Bay isn't a tough matchup against running backs, but they're not a cake matchup either. They're about middle of the road, allowing 18th. So it'll be hard to sit him if he plays. You have to start him, I feel like, but I'm just not expecting much with the injury and just the possible fact that he gets scripted out of the game. So
okay.
And that's it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Shout
I
out to
don't
Lee.
need Felton this week, but I need a running back for week 9. Oh, for sure, I would pick him up then. But I don't know. Nick Chubb will be back by then. Yeah,
Week
he said
9,
Felton. He said
week
Felton.
7, yeah.
Like I mentioned before,
that's the pass catching back.
right?
Then.
Like I mentioned before, you can lose one week. You're not gonna go undefeated anyway. You can make the playoffs by losing one week. So, So yeah, I mean, it's according to who you dropping, bro.
On to the next game. We got the Falcons, a 2.5-point favorite at Miami, with an over under of 47.5 points. Hopefully we get up out of there before Deshaun Watson get in town. Matt Ryan now back-to-back 20-point weeks before the bye week. No interceptions. Also in the last 3 weeks, 8 touchdowns since the week 2 loss to Tampa Bay. Now coming off the bye week, he gets the Miami Dolphins, who getting up to 7th most fantasy points to the quarterback position. And they were out. Both of their starting cornerbacks were out last week. So keep your eye on the injury report for that. So if they're out again this week, we already seen Trevor Lawrence tear them up. So I think Matt Ryan is going to go crazy. And they had training camp with them in the offseason. So Matt Ryan already got the deets on them. They're just a little background information right there.
He's like up for streamer of the week this week.
Yeah, for sure. Cordell Patterson, or CP, as we like to call him here in LA, you know what I mean, played 60% of the snaps last week. That's the most he's played all year. He had, not last week, but you know what I'm saying, before the bye, the last time he played. He had one more carry than Mike Davis, 14 to 13. He was the second in targets on the team, but Calvin really was out. This is 3 weeks in a row that he's had at least 100 all-purpose yards. I think we can feel comfortable starting him. I know a lot of people still holding their breath on him, but I think with the uptick in those snaps, and we've just seen Mike Davis doesn't look good, bro.
I mean,
he does look real meh.
Right,
I do like him this week though.
It's just
he's cool.
Peterson
just looks cool.
Peterson just looking good out there, man. He'll get that 2-3 yards, but Peterson getting 5, 6, 8.
You can start him in wide receiver and running back position. I don't know why people don't want him to succeed so bad.
I think you could feel safe starting him now though, man. Like it's like the week when they played,
when he got the 60%,
I feel like that was the test. That was the test right there because he had that big blow up game, and a lot of people were kind of scared to play him after that because a lot of times the player would just kind of stink it up after going off like that. And I think he performed very well. So
double-digit points with no touchdowns.
Had a bye week to really get him more situated into the game plan. Yeah, I think he's an every week start now.
Of course, he's starting Calvin Ridley, but one thing I did want to mention was Russell Gage coming back. I want to see how that affects CP. I want to see if those targets that are all going to CP are some of those going to go to Russell Gage, or like how the offense is going to look. Of course, with Kyle Pitts coming on last week, 19 targets now in the last 2 weeks. He's a monster. He saw his first end zone game. With really being out, he showed he's capable of being the number 1 target on the offense. So I feel comfortable starting him all next year. Tua, who I thought was going to be a good streamer. I want to see how, I don't know now, because they're talking about trading him in the middle of the week. So I don't know how he feels about that, because I think I would feel.
They've been talking about this.
But they talking about this shit can happen this week now. This shit is imminent.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. Definitely.
Yeah. So do you feel comfortable starting him against the Falcons?
I mean, if he's playing, yeah. I think,
he's still been going through the game plan and all that.
Falcons are still allowing still pretty good. Yes, or the middle of the road. But he looked good last week, and he looked good last week. So I would feel comfortable starting him. I do think I'll wait until you give the rest of your breakdown.
Yeah, they're giving up 11 touchdowns to the and only 1 interception all year. So start any quarterback against them. It won't be like a big game if your quarterback don't throw a lot, but it just depends on what you want to do against the Falcons, pretty much. You know what I mean? That's the type of time we on. Miles Gaskins is ass cheeks after the 10 target game. He came out there. He did see 6 targets last week, but he only caught like 2 of them. He had 7 touches all game.
A lot of them missed them. Not incompletions weren't his
that was
fault,
two
bro. Like, bro, I swear he was like throwing it behind him and shit, bro. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
And that's why they're getting his ass up out of there.
Yeah.
The Falcons haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all year, but they are allowing at least 1 touchdown to the running back position in game. They are middle of the pack in with 15 points, fantasy points allowed to the running backs this year. They are being attacked through the air, so if that's what you want to do against the Falcons, they allow at least 7 targets a game and the 8th most receiving yards to the running back position in the NFL. So I do feel not comfortable starting him because he's ass. How do you feel? I can't even. Yeah, I can't trust him.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that backfield.
Devontae Parker, man, if he comes back, I feel like he's a good locked in start. He had at least 7 targets in the first 4 weeks. We saw Jalen Waddle break out last week, 13 targets this time. He actually did something with him, 10 catches, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Falcons are the weakest against the wide receiver points, giving up the 11th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position in the league. And if Parker is out, I feel like he's a locked-in start of the week probably type play. Gesicki showed up big last week. We actually wanted to see him with Tua, and we saw him with Tua. He still had 9 targets, 8 catches, over 100 yards. The Falcons are getting up to 14th most points to the tight end position in fantasy football. So I think volume is a key for him. I think anybody like that's a pass catching option, you can start against him like a viable pass catching option. Yep. So yeah, that's all I got against that.
I just want to say that I think that Atlanta, it feels weird to say this, but I think they're going to beat the shit out of the Dolphins. Just for the fact that they didn't take the bye after London, bro. Who doesn't take the bye?
Yeah, that was weird.
London?
I was confused by how you get a choice to take a bye?
Yeah, I believe every team that plays in London has a choice to have their bye right after that week, which is the right thing to do, or you can push it back. But yeah, you see 4 teams played in London so far. 3 of them got a bye after that week. So I just don't see them just being on a game like that. I could be wrong, but I think Atlanta's going to beat the ass this week.
A Psycho Scout, shout out to you, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're on the way to 200. Brandon Cooks, I'm assuming this is, or D-Hop. Man.
They play each other. Man, it's hard. I'm just going D-Hop, even though if I think they're going to get out by a lot, D-Hop should be part of that, hopefully. So, yeah,
I think they're giving him the ball more now. Even though he's not seeing double-digit targets, I still think, like, they're involving him enough in the game plan too. I mean, either or, flip a coin.
They're not involving him like to what we're.
You're not getting not just what we're used to seeing. Yeah.
God, that's tough, bro. It feels weird to say Cooks over D-Hop, but just off of volume, bro. Like he has a 31% target share still through all these weeks. You have Tyrod Taylor coming back, so he should be
for sure
better. I don't know.
Is that for sure? Is that a for sure thing?
I mean,
he's breaking news.
I'm saying he's going to be coming back a bit like soon.
But I think this is for this week though. This is what we're talking
about. For this week.
Yeah.
They both Houston played the Cardinals.
I literally have Hopkins 1 spot ahead of Cooks this week, so I guess Hopkins.
Hopkins is if you're playing matchups alone.
If you need a safe floor, well, both of them. If you need it, Cooks provide a safe floor. He's been around 14.
Hopkins got the biggest ceiling, I think.
Right, and Hopkins got the biggest ceiling. So, but I'm going Hopkins either way.
Yeah, for sure. On to the next game, we got the New York Jets at the New England Patriots, 7-point favorites, 42.5 over under. We seen the return or the intro of the Mac, however you want to say it. You know what I mean?
Return of the Mac.
The intro of the Mac, but it was like the intro because he didn't really like come back. So like this is
introducing the Mac.
Introducing the Mac. I like it
again because it's not his first game.
But I do not like him against this Jets defense. Even though the matchup looks like it's a matchup that you should start him. How you feel about it, Gerard?
Yeah, like you said, the Jets are giving up 23rd most points to quarterbacks, or you want me to do the math and say the 15th fewest points to quarterbacks looking at?
That's not the math.
Hey, bro, that was crazy. Bro. And that was not
All right, what I'm 2 out.
Third most of the 15 viewers. Which one is it?
Wait, so
But he said it so confidently, bro. That was crazy.
I was off by 6. It's 9. All right, yeah.
I was off by 6.
So, but yeah,
It's
this
the
won't be.
viewers. You always got to add an extra. Like 32 minus 23 is 9, and you add 1. That's the 10th viewers.
So this would be,
bro. This man said I was off by 6, not by 1. He said I was just off by 6.
I was just off by 6.
That's it, bro. That's it. But yeah, Mac Jones is playing well in real life, but it hasn't been resulting to great fantasy production. This won't be a high volume passing game. You can sit that guy. Damon Harris had his best game last week with over 100 yards and a TD. He has scored touchdowns in back-to-back games while averaging 4 yards per carry. Damon Harris is a start as the Jets have allowed the second most points to fantasy running backs. Ramondre Stevenson is someone to watch. He led the running backs in targets last week with 3 and catching all on for 39 yards. So I don't know what happened to Brandon Bowden. Is he taking over Bowden?
No, either. I started Bowden. I started Bowden and I had Ramondre on my bench.
Yeah.
Cool me.
Right. So I would just watch and see what happened.
Definitely want to stash Ramondre if you can, bro, because it literally makes sense for him to be the guy, bro. Like, he is probably the better running back just on paper. I know Harris is getting the volume now, but he has injury concerns. He's been fumbling. Ramondre is that big body back that can run the ball, and he's also can pass, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can catch out. Yeah, he got no hands.
Or he can catch. Yeah,
that's what he came into the league as.
It just makes sense for. So you definitely want to stash him everywhere you can.
I can do
big body bends.
Jacoby Myers, he leads the team in targets with 52. The next closest is Aguilar with 30. Jacoby is a much start each week in the flex position or even wide receiver 3 sometimes. But this week you should have better options. The Jets defense has allowed no touchdowns with the fewest points to wide receivers this year, which is not a problem because Myers doesn't score. Even when he does scores, it's a prank, you know. Nah, but
he has the worst luck, bro.
Right, when he did score, it was a flag on the play, so it's like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, so in week 2, the Jets held Myers to 7.8 points. He's worth nothing more than a flex play this week because due to the volume. I wouldn't start any other wide receivers. They're all boom and bust. Hunter Henry and Geno Smith. Henry has scored in 3 straight games and building chemistry with Mac. In that span, he has seen at least 15 targets, but only went over 35 yards in those 3 games. So therefore, he is TD dependent, but Mac's favorite red zone target. He's a start against the Jets, giving up the 10th most fantasy points to tight end. Jonu is off the start right now. You can sit him. You could probably even – I wouldn't drop him. I would hold on to him just in case something happened to him.
You got a TikTok coming your way, sir.
Chill on my butt, Jonu.
Oh, boy, you got one coming hot and ready.
Yeah, I got someone that side of the ball?
I just think it would be pretty ironic if Jacoby scores his first touchdown
the next beat the Supersonics
against the defense that hasn't allowed a receiving touchdown. It would just be so poetic. So just throwing that out there. So
you want to say it's going to happen. Beat the Supersonics.
It's going to happen. Huh?
I got you.
It's ironic. I had the boom. She had the chronic. The Lakers beat the Supersonics.
Okay, then. But Zack Wilson.
Y'all know what that is? Wait. Y'all don't know what that is?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I don't.
Right.
That's crazy. Carlos, you do know what that is.
I heard it. I can't think of it, though.
It's Ice Cube, bro.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, okay.
I said it's Ice Cube.
Today was a good day?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's Ice Cube.
Okay. I agree with Jamar, and then when he said, I was like, oh, shit.
I
didn't know. I don't know the words. I don't know that song word for word, but I do know that song. Definitely.
We should know it, bro. It's a great song.
I just know it's West Coast vibes. That's all I know. But Zack Wilson is a never start. You never start a rookie quarterback against the Patriots. Wilson put up right. Patriots put up 7 point, around 8 points to the Falcons and a cupcake defense. So I mean, Wilson put up around 8 points to the Falcons cupcake defense. So you know he'll sit almost every week.
Just middle of the road, bro.
And passing. and pass for the quarterback. He ain't rushing the ball, bro. The quarterback passing the ball. We got, all right, our cupcake secondary. Okay, that's better, Gabe. All right, Michael Carter is the only name worth mentioning in this backfield. The last 2 games he's played, he got at least 50% of the snaps while averaging at least 13 touches and 1 TD. With buys and injuries, Carter forced a desperate flex play against a defensive line of 19 most points to running back. So if you're in a pinch, you can put Carter out there, but he's a desperate play this week. Corey Davis has seen at least 7 targets and 40 yards in the last 3 games. He had caught 3 of Zack Wilson's 4 TDs this year. Davis is a wide receiver 4 with limited upside until Zack Wilson can get his act together. Crowder is seeing a heavy dose of targets since returning from injuries. In the last 2 games, he's only second to Davis by 1 for most targets on the team, and scored 1 of Zack Wilson's TDs. So Zack Wilson, out of 4 TDs, 3 of them has went to Corey Davis and 1 to Jameson Crowder, and Jameson Crowder only played 2 games. So like Davis, Crowder is a wide receiver 4 with limited upside this week. And that's pretty much it. Those guys don't even play a tight end.
I disagree. I'm not starting nobody on the Jets.
I mean, with the buys, in a normal week, but like with the buys and the injuries, these guys gonna be starting somewhere on somebody's team.
I don't mind.
Yeah, Corey Davis, I wouldn't mind starting him, or Michael Carter's a little more sketch, but his snap percentages and opportunity has been rising. So I guess you can roll him out there because of so many buys and injuries, but
I keep telling y'all that number 1 option on the
who's the number 1?
Corey Davis. We saw what happened last time he walked his ass up there. He got his ass shut down. They already been there. We already seen this game before. The game's not changing.
They played them already this year?
Yes.
Yeah, they played him, but Crowder was hurt.
That ass. Zack Wilson had 2 fantasy points.
Oh yeah. You're right. Damn, I didn't think I forgot about that.
We've seen this game.
Why they playing the 2 division games already? Goddamn, that's crazy.
Hey, we've seen this game, bro. We've seen it. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't do it if I was y'all.
So hold on, let's go through some names then, because it's easy to just say don't play them, but see, we got McCall Harmon or Corey Davis.
At this point, I'm going McCall Harmon because I think Corey Davis' floor is just so low that I feel like that boomer buzz. At that point, you're looking for a boomer buzz between them 2. If you ask me.
I think I would go with McCall there.
Yeah, he been strong.
Corey Davis or Robbie Anderson?
Corey Davis.
Wow.
Robbie Anderson got like 11 targets and only caught 2 on for 11 yards.
That boy nasty, boy.
I ain't messing with that, boy.
I'll go with Corey Davis there as well.
Yeah, that's gross.
One more, Corey Davis or Allen Robinson?
Allen Robinson got a good matchup this week. I might roll him out there, bro.
Yeah, I'll go Allen Robinson too.
So basically, Corey Davis last dance for that.
I'm not starting that boy. It's been the last chance is already gone. You keep talking about it's the last chance. No, that shit.
The last dance for that boy Robinson, but it's the last dance.
He did not want to be there no more. He's out of there, and I'm out of there.
He had an okay game last week, right?
Right, but
he looked like he wanted to play last week, but shit, I think he was just playing the Packers. They was a heated little game, but he don't want to be there. I don't want him to be
trying out for him.
Right,
probably so. Too. Hey, look what I can do.
Mooney leading the team in targets and usage right now, bro. It's
crazy.
Yeah, that is who I would start. I was starting Mooney for sure. You know that game?
Yeah.
No Jets. On to the next game. We got 2.5-point favorite Carolina against the Giants. Over under 42.5 points. We got Sam Darnold looking like ass again.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened. Well, I do know what the hell happened. So yeah, of course he did average 22.7 through the first 4 weeks, and he dropped down to 10 points a game over the last 2 weeks. Couple factors contributing to that: 4 interceptions over the last 2 weeks after throwing just 3 in his first 4 games. And then the big thing is he had a lot of touchdown deodorant through those first 4 games. He scored 5 touchdowns, and then he hasn't scored at all over the last 2 weeks. So we all know how fickle rushing touchdown or just scoring touchdown periods are, like if it's not a passing touchdown. So with him not doing that, of course, his floor is going to come down. He's still rushing the ball, which is good, but we knew the touchdown regression was bound to hit. New York Giants are allowing the sixth most points to opposing quarterbacks, so he can be started, but it is a low over-under of 42.5. So, in QB1 QB leagues, I'm not touching him, but I still think he's okay in Superflex leagues. So, French starter for me. As far as the other guys, another start I do have is Trouba Hubbard. Since CFC went out, he's averaging 21 opportunities and 90 scrimmage yards, giving you a top 36 week and 2 top 24 weeks. So he's definitely not CMC, but he is getting all of the rushing opportunities, 53 rushes over that span where he's starting compared to just 7 for Royce. So he's an every week start as long as CMC remains out, and he gets a great bump this week in a matchup against the Giants, who are allowing the 5th most points to running backs. So fire Hubbard up with confidence. Another French start I got, we were just talking about him, is Robbie Anderson. So the good news is he's averaging he has a 25% target share since CMC has been out. The bad news is he's only averaging 3 catches for 29 yards and 6.7 half PPR points per game.
Where they do that at, though?
And like you said, the guy had 11 targets last week for 11 yards, man, which is pretty impressive. Like, how do you average 1 yard per catch? And it being 11 catches, bro. I see if it was like 2 catches for 2 yards, bro. But yeah, that's gross. The Giants present a nice matchup for him, allowing the 10th most points to opposing running receivers. But it's just hard to trust someone that has shown us very little. With all of the players on bye this week, you might have no choice but to start him, but he's no means a must start, even with the volume he's seeing. On the other side of the ball, we have the Giants. I'm starting Javonte Booker if Saquon is out. He didn't have a great game last week, but his usage was encouraging. 12 rush attempts, but that was an 80% rush share. The Giants just fell behind early, so they had to throw the ball basically the whole game to try to catch up with him. Caught all 4 of his targets for 28 yards. Carolina is tough against opposing running backs, allowing the 7th fewest to the position. But the thing is, the Giants are only 2.5-point underdogs, and the spread is low. So I think this Vegas is expecting this game to remain close, and so I think that will allow Javonte Booker to stay involved all game. So another one of those volume plays. Not really expecting like a big blow up game, but the volume should keep him relevant this week.
He let me down last week.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. 8 points ain't bad for a running back. Shit, I mean,
baby, are you
can't get greedy, bro? You gotta be grateful for what you get, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stanley Sheppard, another start. With Galladay and Tony going out early last week, Sheppard slid right back into that target hog role. 10 catches on 14 targets for 76 yards. Now averaging 11 targets in his 3 full games and 15.5 PPR points per game. Hasn't finished lower than wide receiver 21 this year, and he has a plus matchup against AJ Boye, who is allowing an 85% catch rate this year. So he's a solid wide receiver too. Evan Ingram is a sit. With so many injuries, you would think that he would be more useful in this offense, but it's just not the case. His finishes the last 3 weeks are 23, 11, and 30. The week he finished 11th, he scored 7.5 points. So that just shows how horrible tight end landscape is these days. So he's never been the most efficient player, but he's always thrived on volume. And he's not getting that. He's only averaging 5 targets a week, and it's just not enough to trust him as a starter. So I'm sitting Evan Ingram and possibly dropping him in redraft. Fringe player I got is Daniel Jones. He had easily the worst game of his season last week. Didn't think he would light it up against the Rams, but I didn't see him stinking it up like that. He also didn't rush much, but he was coming off a concussion, so that may have something to do with it. Before going out to a concussion in week 5, he posted 3 top 12 finishes in his first 4 games. So I'm willing to give him a pass for last week. Carolina is allowing the 13th most points to quarterbacks so far, so I'm willing to throw him back out there as a QB2 in Superflex. But understand if you need to see it first before throwing him out there in a 1 QB league. His weapons and the injuries. Weapons are depleted with injuries, so that's another reason to maybe cool off on him this week. But in QB or Superflex leagues, I'm cool with starting him as a QB2.
Yeah, I'm still trying to
that's
pivot.
it.
I'm still trying to pivot in QB2 leagues from him, but like you said, the last escape's so ugly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it definitely leave a bad taste in your mouth. Like, you know, starting him last week and then, you know, possibly starting him again this week. But I mean, the first 5 weeks before he went out to that concussion, bro, he was playing pretty well. So
he was Lamar Jackson. If you Javonte,
Jonathan.
How you know that's why I was going with it?
No,
Jonathan.
Javonte.
I wasn't even gonna say that. I was about to talk about Donovan Mitchell or some shit like that. You don't even know what I'm about to talk about. Anyway, shout out. What's up, Holmes? Make sure you like and subscribe. Should I just stick with Miles Sanders for running back for a running back too? I hate Miles Sanders this year. Or should I get D. Johnson, Herbert, A. Collins, Murray, E. Mitchell, or J.D. Mckissick? Have a lot of options. Are you saying you're gonna drop him, or like what you mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't drop him for
any of those guys.
But if you can drop somebody else, I wouldn't mind picking up Mckissick in this order. I wouldn't mind picking up Herbert, Herbert or Mitchell. I don't care which order, and then Mckissick. Everybody else is like on short term.
Well, I think what he's asking is, would you start any of those guys over Miles Sanders?
Nah, Miles Sanders has a great matchup this week, bro. If the offense coordinator and the head coach do not run the ball this week, they dumb. They playing Tampa Bay, which is a fun. No, they're not. They playing. I'm tripping.
I like Herbert this week.
Nah, Herbert plays.
Damian Williams coming back. They play Tampa Bay.
Right. Herbert plays.
Damon Williams. It's official. Damon Williams gonna be back.
Yeah.
It's not official, but I mean, if he was vaccinated, he should be back. If he was on.
Yeah. I mean, got it vaccinated too, so if he should be back, gotta be back. All right, cool. Well, if Damon Williams gonna be back, I don't like Herbert as much. So I would stick with Sanders over all those guys.
That's the thing with Sanders, man. He looks good when he gets the rock, bro. It's just they're not involving him like that. But I mean, for him to be that efficient against Tampa Bay last week, man, like.
And
they're idiots if they don't give him more touches, bro, because that's a tough rush defense, and he looked good. Idiot. Touches,
Sanders, the Eagles play the Raiders, and the Raiders are lined the 9th most, the 6th most points to running backs in PPR leagues. So if they don't give it's a ton of defense, you can run on them, but you can't really. I mean, a funnel defense, you can run on them, but you can't really pass on them that well. So if they don't run the ball this week, bro, they need to fire everybody on that team.
That brings us to the end, man. Short week. We got part 2 coming on Friday, like always. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't told nobody that you did subscribe, make sure you tell somebody that you subscribe so that they can subscribe too, because then that'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should subscribe, because then I feel like it could be like a subscribing party. But anyway, man, Thursday night football, make sure you put your players in the non-flex positions. I always don't do that for some reason, bro.
I know, I'll be noticing that shit.
It's too many leagues, bro. It's too many of them.
You know what I mean? Where Kanye is like just shaking his head. That's how I be looking at it. Like,
it's too many of them. And then in my head, like I be looking at them, and then I be like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then I never go back to it. And I get.
Are you gonna get that Kanye haircut?
I be like fucking like a squirrel. Whoop, Shiny.
That's crazy that you don't be having anxiety about that shit, bro. Because not just specifically for moving flex players out of there on Thursday night, but just the fact that we are in so many leagues. Like I literally before Thursday night and Sunday morning, like I have to go through all my leagues to make sure I'm not missing somebody, bro, because it's just too many, bro. Right. I feel like it's so easy to miss somebody, bro.
So much shit. It's so many people.
Props to you for not having that problem that I have, because
so many.
I gotta
spend 15 minutes making sure everything's straight.
I check every day. I'm like, oh, he ain't practiced 2 days in a row. Let me take him on out.
Just
I check every day.
We got one last question before we get out of here. Shout out to Clapped Ease. Make sure you like and subscribe, bro. T. Higgins or Odell Beckham this week? Ooh.
Odell Beckham. I mean,
no, I like
Case Keenum might target Odell Beckham a lot more.
I actually do like. I like him more if he plays. I like him, more this week than I would have if Baker was playing. So, but I would still go T. Higgins over him.
Man, T. Higgins got an ugly matchup.
Yeah, T. Higgins matchup is nasty. It's just a Thursday night where Case Keenum is just. But I do believe if he is playing, He might. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. That's
never in doubt. Thursday's out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my boy, but just plug in T. Higgins and roll with it.
Roll with it. See what happens. All right, one more last question. I can't even say that.
Viverine.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the love.
Appreciate the question. Should I trade Amari Cooper and Daryl Williams for Jamar Chase and Damian Harris?
I think I might do that.
I think I might do that too because Daryl Williams he looks like he should be the starter, but he's probably just a back. You know what I'm saying? Until CEH comes back, and then Amari Cooper hasn't been like non-tradable this year. And if I'm getting Jamar Chase and a RB1 for the rest of the year,
this is how I feel about it. If you need a receiver upgrade, then I would go with Jamar Chase over Amari Cooper. If you really need a win this week, though, I think I would go. Well, no, never mind. I like it even if you need a win this week because Damon Harris is playing the Jets, bro. So he should be this week. So yeah, I like that trade. I would do that.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like Amari's not going to get all those targets we used to him seeing. Now they trying to funnel to CD and run with Zeke
and Schultz.
Yeah, my boy.
Gunshots. For everybody, man, I gotta get up out of here. My cousin's birthday. I'm supposed to be there at 8:00, but I'm here.
You wearing that shirt?
Nah, not for my mom.
Your mom ain't gonna know what that is.
Right, I'm gonna show your mama this video. Look, I'm gonna show your mama this video.
She probably gonna think it's like Donald Trump or something.
Like, get that.
Oh no!
This gonna call you by your government and everything, bro.
Oh no!
She gonna call you by your government, bro.
Hey man, shout out to everybody. We see y'all Friday. We out.
Peace.
Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session. Fantasy, it's session.